You know, it's funny you bring up Alumatami.
You're not
Shut your mouth! You spent 2 years following me around this panelverse saying, Tom, let us love you. Tom, let us be your friend. And I swear on this panelverse, if I ever see him in this life, I will have his kneecaps with whatever piece I'm carrying, and I'll do that in time. Because Goblin's right. He is a piece of shit. He's running around here grifting for money over we're doing for free. Flow state, fuck his family except for his kids, just him and his wife. They're both garbage.
Have you heard that? Have you heard where and with who Alumatami is now residing?
I know that he's doing his roofless, because it's not homeless if you call it roofless. He was at Rose's. I think he's back in Colorado now, but I'm not positive.
Oh, so you can confirm that he was living with Rose777. That can be confirmed.
Yeah, he was there for, I don't know if living is with, he stayed there for a week or two.
Wow. Even that's insane, by the way.
Somebody in my chat wants to send you a beanie. Do you have a PO box or something? Is there a way to make that happen?
No, one beanie. Only I just roll with one beanie. So the rumor is that Alumatami lived with Rose.
Yeah, so he went.
Only imagine.
First, so when he went roofless, he went up and visited Random Fan, and then he moved. He went to Vegas. Actually, the week that I was supposed to be there, that Vegas trip fell through. But anyways, he went to Vegas, and then from there, I think he went to Rose's, and now he's back in Denver. That's my understanding. It could be wrong.
So here's the thing. We've known that Rose has hosted a number of people. For instance, a lot of my audience may be surprised to hear, and your audience, that Rose actually had one Mr. Brian O'Shea living with her at one point.
Oh! What the fuck?
I've never had a threesome that I can remember, really.
Suck my...
Dude, I was a virgin when I was 35.
Suck my...
I'm a child. I've been beat off till I was 28.
I wanna know if Jennifer's into me. Verily, are you attracted to me at all?
Brian?
O'Shea, say it again. I didn't hear it.
I said I'm going through a bisexual stage and I might want to suck you. You're really handsome. Flow State's the kind of guy I would do some bisexual.
Screaming with passion about shit. You ever have passion?
No, you're not.
Mexican. Sick of them too.
Did you ever have passion?
Hello, Verily. Remember you said no because of my character? What were you talking about?
I work on the plantation.
Dude, I talk about wet dreams, and dude, that's some spiritual retention. Talk about semen retention, which is all the rave. No fat communities and Reddit.
You're very aggressive.
Fat means eat off.
Right. You're still willing to hop on my string, right? We never did that.
But you could also, but see, the wet dreams I noticed during my semen, which I'm kind of, well, no, I'll get you up. But
all right, I'll DM you.
But yeah, when I was like actually sort of consciously doing semen retention, like, but it's a lust thing.
Who in here has done something with a dude?
Comment about
Who
not going down.
Ever done something with a dude, like even when you're a kid or something? You know how when you're a kid, you guys do some weird. See, no one's gonna open up and say.
Verily, I
When you
feel
guys
like you
blew
need
your
to say
best
that you
friend
would
at,
do
like,
them
10
till we
years
get
old.
I
Are you aware
heard
of
that.
that?
That's wild.
Right.
What the was she thinking?
So she had Brian O'Shea, and then we know about the Nachiketa debacle. I mean,
How is Nachiketa the one out of all these three dudes that went the worst? That's what doesn't make sense.
What does that say about Rose? That Nachiketa, like a zenned out meditating guy who practices Vipassana, is basically a vegan. He's pretty much achieved some state of enlightenment, and it goes so bad, but yet she gets along so well with Alumatami and Brian O'Shea.
No, let's be real. Notch doesn't have as much chill as he tries to.
Proceed.
I mean, we all try to have, maybe more chill than we do. I don't really try to. I actually have quite a bit of chill. And you don't try to because you just don't try to have chill.
I'm not interested in chill anymore. I'd rather
Yeah.
just be, like I said, radically authentic and tell the world to go F itself.
Z's a pretty fiery person. He just tries to control it. Yeah, I'm not really surprised his firiness got out. I'm more surprised that the other two guys I mean, I guess I don't know how it went with O'Shea. I'm very surprised that Tommy and Rose got along so well.
In some way, I'm not, because Rose was always waiting to like do her heel turn. Are you a wrestling fan? Flow State at all?
I used to be.
All right. There's an expression in the biz called a heel turn. It's basically when like a good guy turns bad. Like you might remember in the late 90s, early 2000s, Hulk Hogan turned bad and he became the Hollywood Hulk.
Right.
Right? Or whatever, you know, and it's when the good guy flips. That's the heel turn. Rose was always waiting for the heel turn.
She was, and you knew it. You knew it. The first time you introduced me to her, you said, this is the most dangerous person in whatever, this sector.
I told you she's keeping files on people.
There
and
she is. She's right there. She's right there.
And at any time, oh, I know.
Oh, she's been waiting backstage.
So I'm gonna put it to my audience. See, I like to do this sometimes. Just put it to my audience. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys want to hear from Rose. Put a 2 in the chat if you never want to hear from Rose again. See, I learned this from the Bible. Remember that story about Jesus? I know you're an agnostic or whatever you are, but there was a whole story where like that guy Pontius Pilate or whatever his name was. Like they brought Jesus to him and he said, look, I don't know what to do with this guy. So he just like let the people vote. They basically voted to have Jesus, you know, ass strung up and pretty much crucified. But
I think it's only fair that we, you know, don't just crucify another J without giving her a chance.
Gotcha. Is my music being played? Can you hear music?
I do.
All right, good. Sometimes my thing glitches. Well, hold on. I got to go to the audience. I asked them to vote. Now she's being demanding. Look what she says. You see how these
I did see that.
These people are. I have a show to release in the morning. Let's get this over with. So we're here doing a stream. She shows up and just demands to be on, like that.
I saw that and I knew that was going to just definitely slow things down. She knew that too when she said it, though. She don't give a f.
Unbelievable. Flow State, what's the over-under that Rose was bumping meth with Alumatami?
I have no idea. I'm going to say
80% chance that Rose and Alumatami were getting crazy.
I think everybody is sober here.
Right.
That life has been left behind for everybody. Don't be an agency.
Rose, welcome back to Z Show. How you doing?
But maybe 70% chance.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, for letting me be here in a place
where you laughing at? Rose, you seem like you're laughing, like you're speaking through a smile.
But it's a mean smile.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's diabolical.
It's okay. I like that louche.
Rose, can you confirm or deny that you were booty bumping with Tommy? That's the allegation.
Booty bumping.
I will deny the allegation that I was ever booty bumping with Alumatami. But Flow State, you said like 2 weeks. It was an amazing 2 months. Over.
Was it?
It was.
Hold on. I want
the best experience ever.
I have a quick question though. I need to get in. Z, how do you know about boofing?
Booty bumping.
I assume that's boofing.
Is it when you put meth up your ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
I learned about it in jail. Where'd you learn about it?
You know, live and breathe, my friend. I live and breathe.
All right.
Although I imagine for Rose, the booty bumping might involve a little bit more, like, you know, might be a little bit more difficult than your average guy or doll. I'm just saying.
It requires muscles that I don't have use of, I would assume, if I'm imagining booty bumping adequately in my mind's eye.
Yeah, the idea is you want to like hold in and retain the liquid in your ass.
Oh!
Yeah.
I was thinking like Ren and Stimpy, you know, when they're singing happy, happy, joy, joy, and they're pushing their butts together. That's what I was. But you're talking about the insertion of a into the anus in order for it to absorb.
Just a shard. Yeah.
Right. So you're basically giving us the anal version of. Look, I don't even want to go there. This is getting crazy.
This is. It's a good thing that XO guy is not still here because he would get fired from his free job.
Okay, so you are admitting that Alumatami actually lived in your abode with you and Jason Lingren for 2 months. That's insane, by the way.
So first of all, I want to know how things turned out with O'Shea. Also, I want to know how Jason is so tolerant of your insane friends.
I don't know how he is either. Look, I'm even wearing Tommy's jacket because I miss him so much.
Oh,
okay,
could you imagine?
They definitely booty bumped.
Right.
We didn't.
It's basically like flow state. I know you're not like a big weed smoker, but in the weed smoking world, there's a thing called a shotgun, where like somebody takes a hit and they blow it in the other person's mouth. I'm imagining they did like the anal version of the shotgun, where like Tommy shoved up his ass,
like
and then booty bump.
Right.
That's
exactly how you do it. But
we have invented something.
We would have to.
Unbelievable. And how Jason fits into this whole thing, I don't want to know. I hope Crow never watches these panels, Rose. You're in trouble if he does.
Crow never knew that Tommy was here. Crow will never. I mean, he would never have any exposure to who he was, or he probably doesn't.
He might if you don't start paying me monthly.
I mean, Crow doesn't even know about Paul and his panels and the fact that this whole thing was created, Z. So imagine that. He's just out of it. But no, Tommy being here, he's obviously just a brilliant genius. And he's just, expressing himself the way he wants to the internet. But in real life, he's a normal guy who's just
nobody's buying that.
And Jason feels like it's like having a comedian in the house.
Right. A high, completely insane, sociopathic comedian.
What would he be high on? He was here. And if anyone who's been here knows, if you don't have a driver's license, there's no way to get away from me and my
deliver
through DoorDash.
I don't know. Through bicycle.
Speaking of food, did he cook you any of those meals that we watched?
Yes. Yes, I was really looking
forward to it. Did he shake it up in a 2-liter and then let it cure and then you ate it?
Did he make the deep fried Wonder Bread toast that we watched him make and the mozzarella sticks?
Oh, yeah.
There's one thing he made that I didn't get to try, which was spaghetti on bread and lots of cheese. But I really like the CPK frozen California Pizza Kitchen, the barbecue chicken kind. And then he would add stuff to it to make it better. So he would add more meats and cheeses to it and then do it like that. And we would split those.
Right. You understand you're describing the exact type of meals that a person hopelessly addicted to methamphetamine would be cooking. You get that, right?
But I'm not addicted to meth, and I was okay with it. But I'm actually okay with the pizza by itself and didn't need the extra toppings put on it. But I figured since we were splitting the pizza, he was going to be more hungry, and that's why he wanted more toppings on it.
Rose, I'm going to ask you some pointed questions.
Yes.
Are you still friends with David Weiss?
No.
Okay. When did you stop being friends with David Weiss?
Because we got into a big fight, and it was long ago enough that I can't remember the details of like who said
was
what.
It after Jaron returned from Antarctica?
Absolutely.
Of course it was. So there
now,
was
Z, do you think that everybody who eats pizza is on, or just some of them?
No, but just like the frozen weird pizza that you just. Plus, she's mentioned like the spaghetti on like Wonder Bread.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm picturing like SpaghettiOs or some kind of like.
Yeah, if you eat a spaghetti sandwich, that I don't even know if that's just poverty.
Like, could you picture Tommy with like a Chef Boyardee, and then he opens the fucking can and gets the moldy Wonder Bread out of Rose's freezer?
No, it's free and it's free in the dumpster. It's barely expired.
No, when the spaghetti bread occurred, that was because I was requesting the proverbial bad cooking. So it was the purposeful looking of the bad. I don't know exactly what he was doing on his own time with his own meals on his own schedule. But when we had the scheduled bad cooking, he would deliver in the genre that was requested.
Rose, did Brian O'Shea, Alumatami, and Nachiketa all sleep on the same bed?
Yes, and many other people who have been guests on Crow 777 Radio, or just people passing through, like Thunder Chicken, I think was one of them. And yeah, there's actually like too many to count now. Ben Balder.
Right, so hold on. So there's a problem. We had previous reports from somebody you're not really very close with anymore. One Mr. James from Grounded Extracts, that when Thunder Chicken slept in his household, he slept without the sheets on the couch.
I heard about this.
And left some type of infestation and at least some level of soiling, because he would not use the linens provided by James's lovely wife.
What sort of infestation? Hold on. What was infestation?
Have you ever met Thunder Chicken?
No.
You've met
He
him.
just got married.
I mean, I've talked to him on here. I've never met him in person. What was the infestation? What did he leave behind there? Was it bed bugs?
What was it?
Rose, do you remember the story, Rose?
I remember the story, and I think it's horrible to. I think that you absolutely need sheets between your body.
Was it bed bugs?
Who knows what it was, but whatever it was.
Let me tell you this. If somebody, I'm just putting this out there in the universe for everybody. If you come to my house and have bed bugs, I don't give a if you use sheets or not. You don't even cross the driveway.
Right. But if anything did happen, and if Thunder Chicken ever had something to infest their house with, it's over now, because Thunder Chicken just got married, you guys.
Maybe she probably got it too now.
Well, then he found someone who was accepting of his infestation. Isn't that a great Mazel Tov moment as well? Compatible with his infestation.
It was bed bugs, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think that they probably just didn't like his level of respect for their couch, which I completely understand. And it's funny you should bring it up, because I love Thunder Chicken so much, but I'm trying to mend things with Grounded Extracts as we speak right now. And I have been in communication with Najla, and I would love to not only resolve things with them, but even just kind of move forward. And
okay, Rose, so will you indeed reinstitute the deleted episodes of Grounded Extract on Crow 777? Will you go back and reinstate those episodes for the listening audience? Yes or no?
Oh my gosh, that's why I wish that they were here right now to also speak for themselves and explain themselves, because part of the contention of what I'm worried about whether or not we can be friends, is because Crow feels how he's going to feel, and he still feels how he feels, and me, independent of Crow, and no matter what Crow thinks, I want to resolve with James and Najla. So even though I do have a certain amount of control over the show, I don't think I could be convinced to get Crow to put them back up again, because he's so mad about what happened, and he thinks
so that's going to be a huge sticking point.
I know.
What happened?
Okay, so
I'm not up with the lore.
It's a long story. It's too long of a story. It's too much. I want to get back to Thunder Chicken. I want to talk about Thunder Chicken, how gross he is. Please. Now, we have confirmed reports, obviously, that he is like unbathed, unshaven, unwashed. He's completely disgusting and gross. He doesn't use the proper linens. Did you ensure that when he slept on your guest bed that he used linens? Or you didn't monitor that?
Yeah, every time that we've had a guest over, Jason and I, and when I say Jason and I, obviously I mean Jason, because I'm not physically capable of putting on a fitted sheet. So every single time, we call it like the de-Brianing or the de-Tommying. Before and afterwards, we change the sheets before and after they're here. And if they're here for...
Are you sure you didn't give the same sheets to Tommy that Z had used? Just like unwashed? Or, I mean, Notch. Yeah.
Come use
I don't
my
think that was Freudian, because there'd be no like meaning to glean out. Anyways,
right.
I'm just not. I know that everybody says they wash sheets. How are we to know you're actually washing the sheets and you're not just one of the people that says that?
Bingo.
Well, I guess you have to take our word for it. I could get Jason as like testimony to...
I would like to talk to Tom. Next time I talk to Tommy, I'm going to ask him what the sheets smelled like. And if he says they smell like Thunder Chicken, I'm gonna do a stream about it.
But it wouldn't smell like Thunder Chicken. They would smell like Nachiketa because Nachiketa was the last person to
I
sleep.
imagine Nachiketa smells like weed and I don't know.
Nachiketa doesn't smoke weed,
What does
really.
Jade smell like? Whatever Jade smells like, he probably smells like that too.
So I want to ask you something, Rose. So you confirmed that the sheets were indeed washed between each of these guests.
Yes, every single guest that we've ever had. If we have a guest, I make sure that that occurs before and after, because the thing is that whenever my sheets are being washed, I like having that guest room bed to go sit on and hang out on while I'm waiting for everything to be finished. Because even though I have plenty of sheets to replace the old sheet with, no matter what I tear off my bed, I'm dependent on Jason and his schedule and his vibes to put a new one back on again. So I just have to let go and be like, he's going to do it when he's going to do it. And I can use the guest room. So it is an inconvenience in that way anytime I have a guest here, because I don't have that extra bed.
So,
but I have the other bed in the sunroom.
Rose, it sounds to me like you're preemptively backing yourself out of the claim that you just made, so that when I do my investigation and find out that there was hairs on the sheets that you gave Tommy, that Jason's holding the bag because you're paralyzed. Is that what you're doing?
What do you mean by holding the bag?
The responsibility.
Well, no, Jason is doing what I requested. If it was just Jason's house, and I don't know how guys are, but the fact that I'm this crazy bitch involved that wants my house to be clean and respectable and be a wonderful, amazing hostess that everyone gives a 5-star to, that's why we make sure all of the linens and the towels and everything's prepared. And we also have a jackery in every room with a connected lamp and make sure that there's cords.
Type a 1 in the chat if you think that he just dried the sheets and didn't wash them.
Ew, why would you even do that? And how do you think he could get away with that in front of me?
Hey, look, anything's possible. Okay, here's the thing, Rose. I want to get back to the Dave Weiss thing. I want to know what happened between you and Weiss, because you guys were very buddy-buddy. Do you know I gave Weiss a very pointed criticism earlier in the show regarding his grifty nature and the way he's lying to people constantly about what he thinks the Earth is and denying that what they witnessed in Antarctica was true. Do you know, I really have a problem with Weiss, and I think he's disgusting in so many ways. Is that why you fought with him? Because he's disgusting? Did you tell him to stop grifting and stop being a lying asshole? Did that what happened? What happened?
No, because I wasn't conforming to the narrative and the worldview, and I didn't support all of the things and regurgitate the phrases in the way that he would feel comfortable with after.
Hold on. So in translation, and we saw you, because I saw on Flow Stage channel that you confirmed you did a globe flip, but I don't think you did a globe flip because I don't think you were really ever a flat earther. I thought you were kind of like doing them like, I want to be cool, and they drugged me to a flat earth conference and Karen was there and she was nice and it sounds kind of cool. But in my mind, you were never a flat earther. So I'm not going to say you flipped. I'm going to say you were kind of like riding the whatever train, which kind of got you in trouble because now it's like there's this perception that you flipped. So I know you're on but I don't think you were ever really a true flat earther. So I can't say you flipped. But you're saying Dave wanted you to toe his company line. You weren't going along with it. You were on the Jaren train, and he had a big problem with it. And how's Crow responding to this whole thing? Go ahead. I know it's a lot, but the floor is yours.
Yeah. No, I mean, really what I have to say is that I'm just so grateful to be here because this has been such a huge topic that has been driving me crazy for so long. And I never know what string of words to put together to describe my situation. But I think that you just might literally be the only person that sees it clearly because you and I were talking throughout before Antarctica and my feelings on everything. Like what I was telling you off air and on air and just everything. There's a few people that were like really paying attention and have those observation skills to show that while I did put myself in situations where I allowed people to label me as a flat earther, it's exactly as you described. I was dragged to a flat earth conference. I was embarrassed to be there. I only went into the building when Jason was giving his social engineering presentation. And then it wasn't until I got involved with David and Jaren and being on the Jarenism Raw show and then being on the Baby Truther show with Alex Stein and all that stuff that I just started to actually find the information compelling enough to lean in that direction. However, the only model I was familiar with was the one from David Weiss's app and hanging out with Jaron and their idea of Antarctica being a circle and the North Pole being in the middle. And that could only be correct contingent on what I thought was a remote possibility that the government was hiding a setting sun in the south.
Right. So you're pretty much right. So you agree with Jaron's narrative, plain and simple. Like, I'm not saying in a good way or bad way, but you agree with Jaron's point of view, correct?
No. What I agree with is that the model that David and Jaron presented, that I was like, oh, this is the flat Earth model, and there has to be a setting sun.
Right, the flat Earth model. Oh, I don't want to step on you, but I want to get back to the Weiss thing. I really want to know about you and Weiss and what went down.
Okay,
it's
so
important for me to know.
Through text messages, he was sending me questions like, oh, so I suppose you think that Jaron went to Antarctica, don't you, or something? And I don't know, he was just asking me questions. It's like, why do you care what I think, David? Because we know he went there and he saw what he saw, so you have to deal with it. And he was just the way that
he's not dealing with it. Rose, Dave went on into the world and said it was a fake plasma laser sun that they somehow synchronized with the real sun to just like fool Jaron and Whitsitt and everybody down there. He's still going around telling people this bullshit story about a fake plasma laser sun because he can't let go of his grift.
Yeah.
Because, Rose, you watched me for months and months telling Dave that his model's debunked. I know you can attest to that. I sat there and Jaron to his face and told him that model was debunked. And now when it was debunked in front of the world, Dave's just going to lie to people. You know, I have people in my real life, Rose, that come up to me and people I know, let's just say, and they say things like, oh, did you hear about those, those phonies that went down to Antarctica and like faked like this whole thing? Like they're just going with the Dave Weiss controlled op narrative. Do you find what Dave's doing completely repulsive and disgusting? I do. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's completely and repulsive and disgusting to try and like evangelically continue that narrative when we know that we have made an observation that should just be pointing us in a new direction to further verify things. And with Crow 777 Radio, we are really concentrating on the electromagnetic frequencies that have been measured since 2004 that can be affecting the earth and human consciousness. So I think that all of the division related to the disgusting stuff that you're talking about is a psyop to draw people away from the truth. Now let's use the example of RV, a good friend of mine who I hope will still be my friend. He's really disappointed in me that I believe Jaron went to Antarctica, but he's not going around everywhere telling everyone all this stuff about the trip. Like I think on his own channel he'll say what he wants, but
no, he's pretty much calling it fake, Rose. He's in that camp. Rose, what do you think of people like me and like the Nachiketas and like the Jake the where we go, look, yeah, they went to Antarctica, they made that observation, but so what? You understand? It's the so what? It's basically the demonstrable world, the physical world, in our view, shows a certain thing. We don't play into the false binary. We don't have to buy into their model. What do you think of us, the ones that go, yeah, they went? Shouldn't Whitsitt be like best friends with like a guy like me or like a Nachiketa who says, you're not lying, dude, but yet they still want to besmirch my name? I guess my point is like, what do you think of like the my group?
Well, first of all, before I tell you what I think of your group, what happened to Austin after he experienced the 24-hour sun? What's his explanation?
He came home freaked out, got into a domestic dispute with his wife. She recorded him and then presented it to the entire world. Then she left him and took the kids. That's what happened.
Yeah. Is this the whole thing that makes me upset about humanity and why I sometimes call myself
allegedly, Rose? Rose, allegedly. Now she didn't allegedly record him. They didn't allegedly have a domestic.
She set up the camera though and made a fight.
He didn't allegedly spit in her face in November of 2023.
Yeah, but what if she made him so mad?
Allegedly she's gone with the kids. That's the alleged part.
What if she made him so mad that he had to yell at her so loud that just spit accidentally flew out of his mouth, and it wasn't like he was spitting on her, and then she was so disgusted by the fact that he was so mad at her that that saliva got on her that she called the police, and she's like, he spit on me, and that's what they put in the police report. And now everyone's
Rose,
like,
we know that you're an advocate for men. We know you don't hashtag believe all women.
Yeah.
We know you just don't hashtag me too. We know that you are a supporter of men's rights, and we know that you are a strong advocate for those type of things. You know as well as I do that a woman scorned is something you do not want to mess with. Hell, we saw your behavior with Nachiketa when you went on brandishing a sidearm and tried to get his channel destroyed. That was crazy. But anyway,
you can't get a channel destroyed by that. All that happened was the video came down.
Rose, you're going to downplay that? Come on. Anyway, we can get back to that another time. My point is, she obviously sets him up. She sets the camera up, just incite a little thing, watch the guy pop, gaslight the guy a little bit, use that to present it to some judge, show that you live in a hostile home environment. She had the prior police report that she called from a year earlier with the Spitz-It incident. So with the police report, combined with the video, Rose, you know as well as I do, that gives her a fair degree of leverage when it comes to the family courts. It's a hostile home environment. So Whitsitt, I mean, you asked what happened to Whitsitt. His life fell apart. His life completely. Whitsitt, you just evil. Hold on, I'm gonna put you in the back because you're just gonna make. Hold on a second. So I'm talking about a guy's life being destroyed, and Rose just wickedly. Hold on a second. This is crazy.
I know what you're saying, and I know how this looks.
It's so bad.
How much I've been through with these motherfuckers.
All right, so here's the thing.
Look, nobody's surprised by your guys' evilness.
Here's the thing. So, out of all of this, so Jaron flips to the Globe, gets a bunch of new subscribers. He's probably going to be raking in the money as, like, you know, Greg from Fight the Flat Earth and McKeegan and McToon, like, embrace him more and more. Rose, you know they're all making bank. They have like 6,000 channel members. They're making more money than Flow State, and he was in the top 10 in the entire country. Go figure. They're making more money than he's making. So here's the thing. Jaron walks away smelling like a rose. Well, Duffy gets a documentary and like basically gets to go to the world like he won the biggest prize ever. And Austin Whitsitt gets his life destroyed. Why? Because he wanted to remain friends with Jaron, his boy, and gets his life whomped on as his wife literally destroys him. It's insane. Your thoughts?
I got a little bit distracted because Jason just walked in, and I'm just trying to show him my computer to demonstrate that I'm on your stream right now. And I bet he's wondering how Tommy will react to it.
Are you still friends with Karen B?
What?
Does he have? Do you have to show him that because you look at too much?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you friends with Karen B?
Much.
Answer the question. Are you still friends with Karen B?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that she's very accepting of me saying that I believe that Jaron went to Antarctica.
No, but you went further. You said you believe that Jaron went to Antarctica and proved the globe. I saw it in print. I have it. Rose, I have it screenshotted on my phone. You can't escape it. Come clean. Don't walk the line. Karen B needs to know where you stand. If Karen B is your real friend, she'll stay your friend.
Well, the only current explanation I have for the fact that there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica with the sunspots that have been observed over the course of the year from the same spot from both Crow and Mellow Dome, there's nothing else that I can think of other than a globe that would explain it. But I'm open to other ideas because I agree that I really don't. I'm not.
How is Karen B accepting your globe like revelation?
I think that she's okay with it. I think that she's always known, just kind of like you, that I was never really like scientifically minded enough to get into it. You know,
are you playing the stupid girl card right now?
Maybe, Maybe, I
Sorry.
don't know. See, sometimes I don't know if I'm just playing a part or if this is my real personality.
Isn't that scary?
I know. That's scary.
And Flow State, she not only has the like stupid girl card, but it's the stupid girl in a wheelchair card. She could play the it's the ultimate card.
She's the
Rose.
ultimate honeypot predator victim.
Right. That's how she infiltrates.
She's probably not even paralyzed.
I wish that I could be that.
This is
that
all a
thing, but
big trap.
just ask
That's how she
Tommy.
infiltrates. She gains your confidence, she moves on in, and then she just takes over. We know how it
Except I have to do it in a special way, see? Because I am paralyzed. So it's not like I can go out into the world and bait people and bring them back into my house, no pun intended, like Kathy Bates. I have to use my mental manipulation on the internet to swindle these people to come visit me into my territory, into my lair, to have a little piece of my personal hell and misery. And then I observe the reaction to it, and I perform social experiments on them. And then I had
She says it in a joking way, like we don't smell her out.
Okay, so what were the last words you said to Weiss? How did you guys end it? Was it like
I
on the
think
glass
we just
itself?
stopped talking. We just stopped talking.
You didn't say, I will always love you. I just can't be with you.
I didn't say that to David Weiss. No, I pro-blocked him so that the only way that he could contact us is through the support email. And we're done with the whole division. We want nothing to do with the divisive topic of flat Earth. And we are interested in his hydrogen alpha telescope and the search for the so-called second sun. That's what we're doing. Eric Dollar, Nikola Tesla. There are
Rose, doesn't the second sun completely invalidate the heliocentric model? Won't it throw all the gravitational numbers out of whack?
The what?
If it doesn't, we don't know if the thing that Crow has imaged is the same thing that corroborating scientists who have been banned from publishing in academia. They've been measuring something that's been approaching since 2004, which is going
Did I
into
just hear second sun?
See. How do I have a serious conversation with you, Z, about it when he's here and he's not like up to the lore or even?
You know what? Ignore me. Ignore me. You guys do your thing. I will be wanting somebody to fill me in on this second sun later, but go on.
It's a panel, Rose. You can talk in front of our friend Dusty. I keep calling him Flow State. He said it's okay. Rose, let me ask you a question about etiquette. He changed his name because his channel got nuked by YouTube or whatever. So he had to go with the powdered Dusty. But in my mind, he's Flow State. But I know the proper etiquette would be to call him like powdered or Dusty or some iteration of that, okay? But I just can't get myself to do it because it's just like so ingrained. It's like all of a sudden if I change my name from Z to like J or T or some
Don't
other
dead
like
name
letter.
me Z.
You see what I'm saying?
You're always Z. You're always Z, even if you wanted to go back to your legal name, because it's what they were when you met them. And also, Alumatami changed it to Station 33, and no one calls him Station 33. He'll always be Alumatami.
Which is such a better name.
And
It
Flow
is a
State
better
is so
name.
much better than Powder Dusty.
Flow State was terrible. Have you ever searched for Flow State?
Well, the terrible for you algorithms. Yes, a horrible initial decision. You made that mistake, and it
It wasn't my decision. I had a partner at the time. He made the channel.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that. That your as I think of you as Flow State, and I always will.
And that's fine.
To think of something else, but in the back of my mind, I will be attaching that to Flow State as a reference.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with it. I wouldn't let anybody stress about whether or not you're calling me the right thing. Just as long as they're subbed to the right channel and have the bell notifications on, we're good to go.
There's people in Flow State's channel chat asking for the link.
I did drop the link a second ago. If they're still asking for it, that's rough for them.
Somebody's telling me there's people backstage, but there's a few people still back there. But okay, Rose. So you kind of find yourself in a precarious situation here. Like you're kind of like walking the line between worlds. That's not going to hold up. As far as I know, you've maintained your friendship with Jaren. You see what he's doing to all his former buddies. Rose, what do you think of the fact that like none of them are addressing Jaren? Do you think it's because I'm going to say this right here, first time I'm going to say it on my show. Jaren is the number one threat to the Flat Earth Inc., to the branded Flat Earth, to the Flat Earth grift. Jaren is the number one anti-Flat Earther, and Jaren will be very successful in what he's doing because Jaren knows all the talking points. Jaren, whether he's using logical fallacies or not, knows exactly how to take down Weiss and the rest of them. You can't take me down, Jaren, because I'm rock solid. I'm airtight. I use actual logic. I'm not trying to promote Flat Earth.
Is that why you're not monetized?
Say that again?
Is that why you're not monetized?
What do you mean? No, there's a lot of reasons why I'm not monetized.
I can say one good reason why he's not monetized, which because it's so annoying when people donate through YouTube because YouTube takes their cut. So it's better to provide people with an alternative.
Rose. My God, Rose. The logic isn't logicking there. I'm just
right. So like you're talking to Flow State. So I'm sure he doesn't mind when they're taking 30% of like a lot as opposed to 0% of nothing. So that I kind of get where he's coming from. The only flaw I see with what Flow State's doing, financial wise, is that YouTube can pull the plug out from him whenever they want. That's the only problem.
Yeah, there and that is definitely something that makes YouTube as a business reckless in a way. Right. That said, I am a fairly reckless person, and I've found that audiences, your active audience will follow you.
So
well,
Rose,
go ahead.
Hold on, Rose. I don't want to keep hammering you over the head with this FE stuff, but you have to admit it's a pretty big deal. What do you say to my claim that Jaren is the number one anti-flat earther because he knows all the weak spots, he knows the talking points, he knows how to take Dave down and the rest of them, and that he will be very financially successful in this endeavor?
I wish the best for Jaren, and I'm glad that he's being honest about what he observed and had the humility to say that there was a 24-hour sun when for 10 years he was telling
people, I don't need this. Answer the question.
I think he's going to be very successful. Yeah.
Dance, Rose, dance.
I think he'll be very
dancing all over that question.
Right.
Is that the answer to your question?
Well, I agree with you.
Okay.
I think Jaren's going to be extremely financially successful.
Yes.
And I think he's going to embarrass Weiss and all his former friends, Mark Sargent and the rest of them, because their argument is flimsy. You see, Dave and Mark and Dubé and the rest of these clowns made a mistake. They wanted to tell you what the world is not, but at the same time giving you their new version of the world, their prepackaged version, the version that really works great in an app that people can pay $3 a pop for. See, that's their problem, and that's why they're going down.
So what you're saying is that a sexual assault scandal needs to materialize around Jaren?
Well, to address what you're saying, I think that Jaren is going to be very successful as the most popular anti-flat earther because he was one of the most popular flat earthers to begin with, and so to flip he's going
now
to be
hold on. I don't want to interrupt you as I'm interrupting you. Jaren, let's be honest, was a paper tiger in the flat earth world. When you look at his numbers, when you look at his, mean to say he had 100 people, okay? He had 100 people supporting him by his admission as channel members, his VIP, so to speak. After doing it for 10 years, he had only 100 people. After circle jerking with Karen B and Dave, and they're all propping each other up.
10 years, he only had 100 supporters?
He had 100 VIP members. So my point is, Jaren was a failed flat earth content creator.
How much was a VIP membership?
So for us to say, I don't know, a couple bucks. So for us to say, right, you know what I'm saying? So for us to say that he was this like big flat earth content, that's an illusion.
Okay,
his 160,000 subscribers are completely fugazi, all right? You see his numbers, Rose, I can stream. I have 2,000 subscribers. I get 2,000 views, 2,400 views,
and $0
with 2,000 subscribers. The guy has 160,000 subscribers, and he gets 4,000 to 5,000 views when he does a live stream. When he was a flat earther, more so now. So my point is this: it would be incorrect to call Jaren a successful flat Earth creator. He was not. Dave, this financially was. Austin Whitsitt was raking in the dough before his wife fell to. Jaren's nothing. I think Jaren was butthurt, and that's one of the reasons why he did his flip. That's just my opinion. Go ahead, floor is yours.
That makes perfect sense. And so, in other words, just to reflect back what you're saying in a way to just clarify that I understand, that had Jaren been in David's position with his app, then maybe he wouldn't have done the flip, regardless of what he saw. Is what you're saying.
Potentially. Hey, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
When can we talk about the two sons?
Anytime you want, I would love to. That's like my whole existence right now.
It is?
On it. Well, it's just the focus of Crow's telescope work. He's searching to capture something that he captured in 2015 and 2016. He wants to capture it with his bigger, better scope and then verify if it's what he thinks it is, which is that it's connected to the age change.
And it might be a second son. Is that the...
Well, we don't know what to call it because different people who have observed
what
it.
What is it? Can you describe it? What is the thing?
So hold on. Let me jump in, Flow State. Just to get... The second son has been kind of like, let's say, I don't want to say known, but it's been a topic throughout histories. If you look at the mystery schools, the occult brotherhoods, blah, 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 they talk about the second son, a dark son, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of ways to conjecture it in whatever model, whatever paradigm you want to look at it. But there appears to be these other luminaries that appear in certain times in history, and they signify changes in ages. They signify all kinds of things. So I don't want to go into the second son. I don't want to go into it. But just know that like Crow's into it. And Rose, you're in a very precarious situation with the second son thing, because if you're going to be rolling with Jaren, there's going to be no second son talk. Flow State, I'll put up your super chats if
I appreciate you. Chuck says, how come Z is as delusional as Talcott? I have no answers for this. I'm not sure if he is as delusional as Talcott, but we'll have to see how this second son thing shakes out.
That's a loaded question.
I was muted.
It is a loaded question, of course.
But I have mentioned the second son to Jaren, and I've given him updated information, and I've been drilling him with it, trying to make him care. I don't know if he cares, but yeah, no, he's been accepting of listening to me explain what's going on. Hi, my child. It's Rose, your mommy.
Hi.
Oh, God, another mom.
Okay, hi, I'm sorry. Yes! Hello, babe! My boyfriend, State Flow. Have threesome of you. Let's
She's just trying to use me for Margot.
No, I'm not. Unbred, bitch.
Noel, did you know there's two sons?
No, there's not. There's only one son.
We could just play the clip if we want. It's a 5-minute clip, Z, if you want to share it from Crow's channel.
No, we believe you. I don't want to go off on the second son.
All right. I'll come to your channel. Can I come to your channel to show you Flow and change the subject?
I saw Margot tonight. I saw her.
Noel, hold on a second. Flow State.
Yes, you can. Rose, I insist on it.
Okay, thank you. That takes care of that. So we can't talk about the Flow State, the second son with Flow State. We're stuck up here with Noel, and usually I don't stay on panels if Noel shows up, and I prefer to communicate with Noel via text message, where she actually.
What's your problem with Noel? I think she came up. I think she came up to talk to you, Rose.
No, I don't.
Now hold on.
It was me.
Noel, we're not going to have a boob issue again, right?
No, not tonight. I'm sorry. No, I'm
yourself to the YouTube audience. Are you like some way an exhibitionist?
She did.
All right, well, hold on. I'm going to put her in the back because I don't want her to expose herself here. I don't need that to happen.
I don't think she realizes that my voice is also a person that she's always texting with.
Wait, what?
I'm always in a text message conversation with Noelle, and I'm just not quite sure if she knows that that person that she's in a constant conversation with on her cell phone is the same person as me. I don't know if she's made that connection. She'd have to text me right now to prove it.
I'm pretty sure that she does.
Yeah, like, if she texts me right now and says, I'm able to comprehend that I was just on a panel with you, if she texts me that, I will believe you.
Rose, she's way smarter than she pretends to be.
I know. That's why I'm challenging her to prove it, because that way I can scold her when she acts more retarded than she is.
Rose, have Jason and Jaren become closer now that Jaren has revealed his globe flip?
Oh, Z, you're making me so sad because I thought that maybe they would because Jason's never been a flat earther. But it seems that Jaren's just never wanted to be friends with Jason as much as he's been friends with me.
Interesting, because you and I had the same thought. You think it would be like a commonality, something they can I don't know, bond over or something.
I thought that they would, I thought that maybe this could be some kind of connection for Jason to, I don't know. I was thinking of it from a very business point of view. As soon as Jaren got back, I'm like, oh my gosh, where is this content creation going to go? In which avenue? Where are the rivers going to flow? Who's going to connect? And it's just the same old, same old. Everyone is focused on their own shit.
Every day I'm hustling.
Yeah.
Rose, how much longer do you think Crow777 will continue with his broadcast?
Oh, I wonder if it will make it to 777, and now we're about to release 625 tomorrow morning.
Okay, so 777 obviously is significant given his name.
Yeah.
What do you do, one broadcast a week?
We currently have gone back to one broadcast a week, although I feel weird calling it a broadcast because it's a pre-recorded episode, but it's published once a week, and we were at 2 a week during the hoax for a couple of years.
That was lovely. Thanks for that. That word combination there, that was great. What okay, I just lost my question.
Yeah, the C and the H thing took you out of it.
Sorry about that. But I just got my channel back for those problems, and we'll see how long it lasts.
Right. So why the fuck would you not know not to do that?
Well, because I told them that when I submitted my appeal, I said, if you give me my channel back, you must know it's because I did not commit medical misinformation. So by you restoring my YouTube channel, you are telling me that I did not commit medical misinformation. So now that I have my channel back, even though they took it away from me with over 7,000 subs, they gave it back to me with over 6,000. I will continue to speak freely about those
You're
topics.
whole lying to me right now.
What?
I think you're whole ass lying to me right now.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Rose, the reason they gave it back is all the doctors that went against it, even New Zealand, Australia, all over the world, they got their channels back. They, like I said, they slacked up on their COVID stuff.
Exactly. Richie from Boston got all his channels back too. Like 4 or 5.
And so did Dollar Vigilante.
Yeah, and
except for Dollar Vigilante, they've given him a lifetime ban on Facebook. They never want him back.
Well, we're talking about YouTube right now, but I hear you.
So Rose, are you on your channel?
I'm logged into StreamYard and on Z's channel on my 5th backup channel, but my main original channel has been reinstated, and I made almost everything private and unlisted, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet.
I don't think you understood the question.
Sorry, say it again.
Never mind.
Sorry.
And Rose, I banned that person last night only for 5 minutes, and I think you agree with me.
Okay. Are you talking about the guy who's in this chat here, who's named Plain and Simple? Because I have to remind.
No, I don't remember who it was. I just was reading the comments. I don't pay attention to the names. I just paid attention to the comment.
Okay, all right. Well, it's okay, man. You don't need to worry.
No, I just letting you know, because that other guy, Matt, I was like, he was the same person. He was like playing good guy, bad guy. I thought maybe with two things. I don't know.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. So
what are you talking about? Nobody knows.
He was on his live. She had a live chat last night, Z.
And what are your? Okay, hold on. God forbid. What are your thoughts on Rose and Jaren and their close association?
I didn't think they were close.
Okay. Well, now that you know they're close, what do you think?
You think you guys are close? Well, I think you're.
I think I'm close
Jaren, judge of character.
I think that I'm close to Jaren, and I want to maintain my alliance.
Well,
okay, why do you think she's a bad judge of character?
Because we all know Jaren from not just his YouTube personality, but his personal life. So it doesn't go right. And you called him on it many times, Z. You did. And so what else can you say? If you want to overlook that and overlook the thing,
Harmon, I'm not really worried about Jaren's personal life. I'd rather just stick to the topics because I don't need him to have let's say okay, Jaren's whole thing is that the flat earthers are like abusing him or whatever. I'd rather just bring up the topics. Jaren's refuting, this idea of an FE. Jaren's obviously presenting his globe proofs. I'd rather stick to those because it just gives Jaren fuel as he gaslights everybody. So I'd rather
he brought it up on his
topics
channel
at
the
this
other
point.
day, the way you were talking about him. So I just saying that,
Right, about his I mean,
Yes.
we may have mentioned his penis here once or twice.
I mean, this is just like this last week or the week before he brought it up again.
Oh, he can't stop talking about me. I mean, maybe it's because I do things like, I don't know, this. Where is it? Rose, you're in here.
I hate it. You can't find the right clip.
And no, I'm not going to bring up Jaren's penis
He's not
again.
real
I mean, we
at
can
all.
go by dick size. If that's the case, we know who number one is. I mean, Jaren, I tip my hat to you and your dick.
And it's okay that you have a penis. You are a worthy man, and that your penis is okay.
My penis. I've actually been quite cruel to my penis. I've never truly loved my penis.
And the fact that you do have a penis. You have to love your penis. That's the first step.
For those of you who don't, I've been friends with Jaren's penis for a long time.
I want you to say, I love you, penis.
I'm actually obsessed with Jaren's penis, if you want to know the truth. I'm obsessed with it. Mm-hmm. He's cool, but he's not nearly as cool as Jaren's penis. We're really good friends, Jaren's penis and I.
And your penis is going to be there.
You can't stop talking about how big his penis is because nobody here cares about your penis, Jaren. Your big penis that nobody cares about. I'm actually obsessed with Jaren's penis. You're just the head penis and we're all penises. With his fucking circumcised Jew penis, because your big dick and your flat earth, they don't go together. Big old penis, your apparently large monster penis. Big eggplant-sized penis. Good for you, Jaren. God apparently blessed you with a huge mandingo penis. Not everything's about your penis. And we can get past Jaren's penis when they hear people discussing their penis. We're already talking about penises? Yes. Have said
This is
penis.
wild.
Probably enjoy when they hear people discussing their penis. They're so intent on talking about their penis. The weird part is those individuals seem to talk about their penis a lot. I talk about their penis, talking about their penis. You've had a penis in your mouth. The first time the penis was in your mouth. So I can Google Frank Sinatra's penis size. Apparently Frank Sinatra had a huge penis. He apparently had a monster cock. Monster penis. He apparently has a huge cock. Jaren's penis. It was obviously you, Jaren. And Jaren isn't. I came on and started making fun of his monster penis. He apparently has a huge cock.
Whose penis it is?
Monster fat penis. Penis. Fuck the penis of Michelle Obama's penis. Big, beautiful, glorious black penis. Huge penis. Has a big black penis. And this is weird, even though he has a humongous penis, apparently. The penis of the penis of a 10-inch penis.
Does he have two balls or one? Jaren's penis.
Or Jaren's penis. He went around telling everybody about his penis and to be Jaren's penis.
And you're not the only penis that's been in there. Like,
this is Jaren's penis?
He's really tiny.
So do you know that he apparently has a monster penis?
I don't mean his penis.
For those of you who don't, I've been friends with Jaren's penis for a long time. All right, Jaren's penis. Because you're his actual penis? All right, Jaren's penis. Maybe we should end it here. Jaren's penis. What else has been going on in your life, Jaren's penis? Well, here's the thing, Jaren's penis. Wait, Jaren's penis. It could be you are his penis. Great, Jaren's penis. I'm glad you can be here tonight with your big old penis, showing the pictures of your apparently large monster penis. Right, the ratio to Jaren's penis. So if I can get past your penis, God apparently blessed you with a huge mandingo penis. Not everything's about your penis. Fascinated with Jaren's penis. I know Jaren's penis. I know. Listen, yeah, I know Jaren's penis. I get it. Oh, really, Jaren's penis? I am his dick. Jaren, and I am his penis. Jaren's penis. Jaren's abnormally large penis. Hi, Jaren's penis. Jaren's penis. We're waiting for you. It's Jaren's abnormally large penis. Hi, Jaren's penis. Are you there? Broke his penis. 2 times he broke his penis. Broke his penis twice. Broke his penis just once. Penis. And your rather large penis. Don't lose your penis, everybody. Hold on to it. Only slightly less obsessed with his penis than he is.
You can talk about penises as much as you like. You have a song about his penis.
Do you know that he has a monster penis? Are you aware of that? Jaren's penis is way better than Jaren. Jaren's penis is like good buddies. Jaren's penis. We had a special guest. His name was Jaren's penis. He came and visited us. Jaren's penis may need his whole Jaren's penis.
And that's just so long as the penis is tucked away in the butthole. Increase your penis size. A rather large penis. Same with penis. Big Johnson.
Penis knows about Jaren's extremely large monster penis.
Jaren's penis been in there?
My left testicle also hangs lower.
What do you think of Jaren's penis being beat up?
Hold on.
And Jaren's penis has kind of been crying and hurting. And Jaren's penis.
Who do you think beats Jaren's penis off more, Jaren or Del? I wonder.
Jaren's penis challenged him.
I would still consider Jaren's penis as a flat earther, that his penis remained in the flat earth. It would be Jaren's penis.
He beat his penis. Jaren's penis has been crying and hurting for the past hour or so.
You know, Jaren's penis and I are good friends of the penis. You seem like you could think Jaren's penis. Maybe your penis should start its own. Hey, Jaren's penis, do you want to start a YouTube channel? And Jaren's penis. When your penis is large as me, I don't have a name other than Jaren's penis. Jaren's penis, welcome back. You would do a stream on his dick.
Yeah. I'm just going to title it Jaren's dick.
You know, Jaren and his monster penis, large penis. You found a healthy relationship with your penis? The penis. But let's do our best to put Jaren's penis aside and continue the combat, please. Jaren's penis aside. Right. It's hard to put Jaren's penis aside. About being Jaren's monster penis, I'm detachable. What, as Jaren's penis? I'm Jaren's penis. Jaren's penis, am having an affair with Jaren's wife. Hard enough to be Jaren's penis. I mean, Jaren's penis. Sorry, I want to introduce myself. My name's Jaren's penis. Jaren's penis.
Even
Welcome back
Jack
to the show,
Halfat.
Jaren's penis. Are you impressed with? All people are fascinated with Jaren's penis. Talcott, Flow State, Rose, down the line, completely fascinated.
That was crazy.
Oh, and it goes on. That wasn't even all of it. I had to cut it short.
How long is it? Pause. Don't. God damn it.
What?
That was amazing. I was just like, I'm overwhelmed with euphoria to be here right now. And so you've been asking me all these questions, Z, about what does Karen think? What does Jaren think? What does David think? What's going on? But what do you think, Z? Do you
No, come clean, Rose. I want to talk about you. So here's the thing. I know you were close with these people. Your life and your social relationship, they are now in complete disarray. I know it and you know it, Rose. I know that this whole thing has had a huge effect on you. And I want you to talk about it. Because this is your moment, because I know you've been storing it up. I know this is a huge thing.
What are you asking about?
And all this shit. I just know Rose is going through social turmoil right now. She has to be.
Well, I don't know it. Feel social turmoil. I just feel like you
time to create some, Z.
You opened a door, Z. Do you mind if I reveal something that you texted to me once that was off air? But I mean, I can't know for sure if you want it to be publicized.
Isn't this fun because he doesn't know what you're referring to?
No.
How am I supposed to agree to this?
Story. It's the beginning. It's the
Rose, text it to me and I'll review it first for safety.
You're going to reveal my secret love for Karen B. That all these years we've been going at it, and really I'm just in love with her.
I'm going to tell you right up front. It has to do with Tommy. Okay.
Did he use up all your Bic lighters while he was down there?
No, because we both I use dabs and so blowtorch, and then he just happened to have one that uses butane, and so since I have a blowtorch, I have one, butane, and so we were just had a plentiful amount of.
It just went the over under just went to 90.
About meth? Are you talking about meth?
I am talking about meth.
Okay, but it's not a thing in this house.
I don't need to hear your nonsense.
Okay.
Jason Lindgren. Me and Jason Lindgren got long hair. We're like females. I should cut this hair. Jason Lindgren playing with his hair like Mitchell. Yeah, let's just play with our long hair. Nothing weird about this. Nothing feminine about this, Rob Cleveland. Nothing. The spirit of our mamas about this, our long ass, luscious hair. Let's put a beard on to hide our gayness. Crow 777. How long's your hair, Crow 777? Crow 777, I go to get a haircut. His wife goes, no, don't cut it. Because your wife wants you to be a female like her because she's a lesbian hippie. Rose 777 runs Crow 777. She decides who comes on the show. She runs everything. Hey, get $50. Hey, buy a $250 law program that looks like it's made in 1967. Graphics. Jurisprudence. Yeah, buy your jurisprudence $250 electronic law education system. Yeah, Alphonse gets $50. Rose gets $50. You get $50. I get $50. God gets nothing. You mother, dude.